baby, Grand Rising Kings, Queens, In-Betweens, and thank you so much for tuning into another Monyay Inspirations Episode 2, where every Monday at twitch.tv/Matty_Pace, we are sharing 3 positive, inspiring, impacting, and empowering news stories occurring in the world that you won't hear anywhere else. All news stories are provided at goodnewsnetwork.org if you yourself would like to go check them out. And on that note, let's head into our beautiful scene for the amazing, unique, one-of-a-kind Monyay Inspirations, and let's get it. Reporting to you live from the Monyay Inspiration scene, my name is Matty Pace on the scene, and we are about to get into our first story of the day. That's right, our first story of the day is an absolutely beautiful one, and it's about how a retired colonel heals thousands of addicts with empathy, yoga, and service. And this is created by Andy Corbley, January 10th, 2025. From the heartland of Sikhism comes an inspiring story of a former Army colonel helping to free his countrymen from addiction through positive reinforcement. Colonel Dr. Rajinder Singh is the founder and director of the Akal Drug Day Addiction Center in Punjab. His methods have helped over 10,000 patients kick addiction stemming from a variety of underlying causes. Dr. Singh is 91, but you wouldn't know it. He works all the time to improve the center, and plans to open a 3rd location are moving right along. His method is contingent on transformation born from compassion and steady reinforcement. According to the Better India, Dr. Singh was among the earliest doctored psychiatrists in independent India, but it was his time in the army fighting in the 1962 Indo-China War that helped him understand the psyche behind addictions. In quotes, Army personnel are exposed to highly stressful situations. Long periods away from home can affect their mental health. Some even experience post-traumatic stress disorder, otherwise known as PTSD, after combat and war, Singh said. At the Akpal Center in Punjab's Sangrur district, Singh has been all kinds of addiction, from intravenous drug use to addiction to the fumes of whitener. He even admitted a man who was addicted to the adrenaline shock from snake bites. In every case, his method is the same: physical exercise, organized sports, yoga, medical treatment if needed, and introducing the concept of service inherent in his Sikh faith without any room for haranguing or preachiness. Dr. Singh believes that the root cause of addiction lies in certain experiences that the person has battled, and that an eventual moral reckoning, either with themselves or those who have harmed them, is the end goal of the rehabilitation. Remembering one patient admitted for injecting a mixture of substances that caused 2 separate marriages to fail, a mixture of medication, individual and group counseling, and spiritual healing helped him through withdrawal. His withdrawal symptoms subside, he gained 6 kilograms, his sleep and appetite improved, and his mood became cheerful. He was discharged with advice for regular follow-up, Singh notes. Today, the former patient works in a factory, is happily married, and has referred over 60 addicts from his area to this center. The Sikhs believe that to be born as a human is a result of first being born as every single other animal on earth. Therefore, the life is to be cherished and the fruits derived from it to be shared. It's a fine starting point for any attitude towards healing addiction in society, that the lives of addicts not only matter, but are beautiful and endowed with purpose. Let's go. And there you have it, our first positive, inspiring, and impacting news story that we shared for this week's Monyay Inspirations, Episode 2, on how a retired colonel heals thousands of addicts with empathy, yoga, and service. And once again, that was published by Andy Corbley. Yes, it is M. West. Thank you for listening. And now we are diving into our second story of the day. And it is entitled, She Found Her Dream Wedding Dress for $25 at a Thrift Store and It Fit Like a Glove. Published by Good News Network, January 11th, 2025. After she couldn't find a gown she liked in any bridal shop, a Florida woman bagged her dream wedding dress in a thrift store for just $25. Julia Weber felt disheartened after trying on dresses at a boutique shop and not finding anything that was right. I wanted something simple and elegant, something form-fitting at the top. So she couldn't believe it when she found the perfect dress in a local thrift store. Accompanied by her mom and sisters, the 26-year-old walked into her favorite secondhand store, the Hospice of Palm Beach County Foundation Roselle shop, and immediately spotted the dress. It was the first one we went to, she said. I zipped it up and it fit like a glove. I knew immediately it was the one for me. Life can be so serendipitous, she says. It was completely meant to be, said the speech pathologist from West Palm Beach. Everyone had the same reaction. Their jaws were on the floor. Did I say draws? I meant jaws. And this is the dress, just so each and every one of you can see it as good as you can right there over here in our monitor. You can see this beauty in her dress, all at that thrift store, $25. Now let's dive back in to the rest of the story. Julia has always been passionate about thrifting and grew up hunting through secondhand stores with her mother and two sisters, so looking for a wedding dress was a natural plan B. Last month, she married her school sweetheart who cried when he saw her walk down the aisle in her $25 dress that looked like $1,000. The dress was priced at $50, but that day it was half off day, so Julia took it home for once again just $25. I loved the beading, Julia said, and it had a brand new tag on it. She couldn't find the Casablanca dress new online, but estimates it might have cost up to $3,000. The arm straps needed to be shortened, which cost $40, and she paid $75 total to have it professionally cleaned. At the wedding, I started telling people the cost, and the live reaction of disbelief was amazing. Julia shared her thrifting discovery on social media and hopes it has inspired others to go hunting for secondhand pieces, and she plans to pass on the dress to a bride who can't afford a new one. So there you have it, our second news story of the day, once again entitled, She Found Her Dream Wedding Dress for $25 at a Thrift Store and It Fit Like a Glove. One more time, published by Good News Network over at goodnewsnetwork.org. And that is our second story of 3 that we are sharing today for Monyay Inspirations. So now let's slide into the third and final story that is currently going to have a dramatic impact, I believe, on somebody out there, because it has to deal all with the burning wildfires in Los Angeles. But like anything, when there is a little bit of tragedy, a lot of times what comes out on the other side of that tragedy is beauty, is togetherness, it is rehabilitation, and it is absolutely wonderful to be able to share this final story and then premiere a video that is also tagged along with it. Bex, welcome in. And it is entitled, Neighbors Save a Stranger's Home from Burning Embers Flying Above Hollywood Hills. Published by Good News Network, January 12, 2025. Amid the tragic property loss from Southern California wildfires comes a story of neighbors helping neighbors and possibly saving Hollywood by working together. A new brush fire had started spreading on Wednesday evening near Runyon Canyon and the hills overlooking the densely populated area of Hollywood Boulevard. Evacuation orders were issued, but luckily some residents stayed put and were able to stop a possible catastrophe. Blowing embers from the fire ignited a tall palm tree above a house in a neighborhood where the homeowners had already fled. A half dozen neighbors jumped into action with a ladder, tossing hoses onto the roof to spray the palm tree as its embers starting scattering onto the driveway and home below. A roving ABC 7 News crew was on the scene with reporter Tim Caputo describing the actions of the Good Samaritans. The concern is all these ashes are falling on top of this house and the house next door. To this point, with this fire, we have not seen any houses go up in flames, but you know how it gets. One turns to two, turns to a dozen really quickly, said Caputo in a video report posted on X. Afterward, Caputo talked to Tony, one of the people who helped save the neighborhood. The balcony was on fire and I went around back to grab the garden hose, and luckily they had a ring camera as well. They were like, "Hello, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Your house is on fire. I'm trying to save it." So they were grateful. After 40 minutes of hosing down the palm tree, the embers finally went out. "These people are absolute heroes, probably saved a lot of homes from catching fire," commented one viewer of the video on X. Los Angeles firefighters gained the upper hand around midnight over what had been dubbed the Sunset Fire, fully containing the brush fire behind the Hollywood Hills, and the city lifted evacuation orders for the area on Thursday. So there you have it, a beautiful story of people helping people. And we're actually gonna go ahead and show you the video that was posted on X. So let's go ahead and first turn this beautiful background music down just a touch, and then we're gonna go over to our other screen and show you the live video. So gear your attention towards our second monitor over here for the live news coverage over there in LA. There you have it, let's go.
Right now, because we are just about 10 homes north of Franklin at a home here on Vista where the palm tree above the home caught fire about 5 minutes ago. That itself is troubling and alarming. The concern is all these ashes are falling on top of this house and the house next door. To this point with this fire, we have not seen any houses go up in flames, but you know how it gets. One turns to two, turns to a dozen really quickly. So these are actually Good Samaritans who talked to the homeowners on their Ring camera, who evacuated already, who gave them access to try to get up on the roof. And you see the one guy right now as they're trying to throw the hose up on the roof so they could start to spray the palm tree itself. But as you see, pieces are falling down right here in the driveway, and also we'll come over here next door as well. I think the homeowners are home here. They've taken out their hose as well, but you see from this angle, some of the debris is coming off of the tree and down into the driveway here, which is fine at the moment, but obviously there are trees here, there are bushes on this side, and homes on either side. The obvious concern here is the fact that if one of these homes catches fire and really goes up, and fire crews haven't made it here just yet, there's always a concern the next one and this entire block goes up. We are a half a block from Franklin, maybe 6 homes up the street, and the Runyon Canyon fire is up there. You can't see it now because of the smoke, but some smart folks.
So there you have it. And that's the story that was shared on X as well. Once again, how neighbors came together to save a stranger's home from burning embers flying above Hollywood Hills. All news stories today were shared through goodnewsnetwork.org. So please go check out their news network and definitely share them around. But on that note, that is this week's episode 2 of Monyay Inspirations. And I hope you all enjoyed it. That being said, thank you so much, and now let's get back into our regular scheduled program. Thank you so much for tuning on in. It has been an honor and a pleasure. Matty Pace reporting this good news to you live from Monyay Inspirations. Thank you so much.